I spent a full year living with Yarbo, mowing grass, cleaning snow, and dealing with fall cleanup. And today I'm going to give you an honest, no bullshit review. I've owned my Yarbo since December of 2024. I actually started with a snowblower first, then I moved to the lawn mower, and then the leaf blower as the seasons changed. I also have the new weed trimmer on order, which I'm still waiting on, so I'll touch on that later. The reasons I wanted an all in one outdoor robot is pretty simple. I travel a lot for work. I wanted a way to keep up with the lawn care and snow removal without hiring somebody or without coming home to a complete disaster. At this point, I've used Yarbo in summer, fall, and the winter, so this isn't a first week or first month review. This is real ownership, real maintenance, real failures, and real wins. Before buying, my biggest skepticism was the technology itself. It took years before robot vacuums became reliable, and outdoor environments are vastly more complex. Different yard layouts, slopes, snow types, lighting conditions, and because of that, I knew that there would be gaps between AI promises and real world performance. The biggest promise Yarbo made that I wanted to test was autonomy. Could I actually rely on this thing when I wasn't home? For anyone new to Yarbo, this is a modular robotic platform. Instead of buying separate machines, you have a single robotic core and swappable attachments. Mower, snowblower, leaf blower, also comes with a plow blade, and now they even have weed trimmers. What really made Yarbo stand out to me is simple. There's no other autonomous snowblower in the market, especially living in Minnesota. On top of that, I have a large property and a long driveway, and I needed something with real power. Most robot mowers on the market just weren't designed for that kind of workload. Let's talk setup, because expectations matter. From unboxing to fully operational, setup took me about 3 hours or so. About 30 minutes of that was just unboxing. These things are heavy, well-packed machines. The time included assembling the core unit, assembling each of the modules, installing the RTK antenna on my shed, installing the charging dock, and mapping the yard in the driveway. Mapping itself is pretty straightforward, but I strongly recommend using the included controller instead of just your phone. You'll get much better boundary precision. One of the biggest pieces of advice I can give is this: do not try to map your entire property as one giant area. You'll be tempted, fight the urge. Break your property into multiple map zones. My yard grows at different rates. I mow my front and side yards almost every day, but my backyard only about once a week. Battery life is another reason this matters. If your property is too large for a single charge, breaking areas up lets you prioritize what gets done first. This is especially important for snow blowing. You can clear walkways and parts of the driveway you need to drive on first, then let it handle secondary areas later. The same logic applies to leaf blowing, which eats battery faster than the mower does. Just make sure you follow Yarbo's instructions when linking map zones together. If you don't, it won't think that there's a path between the areas and won't operate correctly. As for the app, Yarbo continues to make improvements. The layout hasn't changed much, but features keep getting added. One thing I really want next is the ability to view the cameras while controlling Yarbo from the app. Right now, I actually rely on my Ring cameras around the exterior of my house when Yarbo gets stuck or needs some intervention. Was setup easier or harder than expected? Honestly, that's a tough question. This is not a take it out of the box and use it product. Assembly wasn't difficult, but the units are heavy and you'll likely need to get some help. One warning for new buyers: Yarbo is still in a developmental phase. They continue to improve things, but parts will break, repairs will be needed, and downtime happens. This is not the point where you get rid of your traditional mower or a snowblower just yet. You still need some backups. That said, firmware updates, RTK, GPS reliability, and camera vision have all noticeably been improved over the last year. Updates seem to land about once a month. I'm currently using the mower module with razor blades, similar to most robot mowers. This is not designed to cut down a yard that hasn't been touched in weeks, at least not in one pass. I intentionally tested this on an extremely overgrown yard. With fresh blades, it took about 6 passes to get grass fully under control. This mower is meant to maintain a lawn, and when it's used daily or even close to daily, it does that extremely well. Yarbo actually released and is shipping a Pro mower module with full mulching blades, which should help with thicker grass and also with leaf mulching. I'm hoping to test that soon. They've also added software updates that gradually lower the cutting height each pass, which is great if you're dealing with taller grass and don't want to stress the mower. Reliability-wise, the mower module itself was solid. My biggest issue came with the core unit. The robot currently cannot measure height. That means if something slightly overhangs into the yard, a car, a trailer, or even a neighbor's vehicle, Yarbo will attempt to go underneath it. This caused a lot of cosmetic damage to both the mower module and the core, and it broke RTK and halo antennas multiple times. Yarbo was great about sending replacement parts, but downtime is downtime. This is honestly one of the biggest design flaws right now. They announced a new M series with LiDAR at CES, which should fix this. I really hope that LiDAR makes its way into the larger units as well, because I'm not convinced that it can be solved purely with software. Edge handling is adjustable, but you need to change that setting manually. Otherwise, Yarbo stays about 6 inches back from the edge of the property, which means trimming is still required. I ordered the new trimmer specifically to see if this helps. Haven't received it yet. Terrain performance has been excellent. It's a tracked system, and I have large hills with no issues at all. One caution, tracks can damage grass in wet conditions, so you want to disable the 0-point turns and use the rain sensors for heavy rain. Maintenance is about what you would expect. You want to change your blades like every 3 to 4 weeks, and then cleaning the deck and the tracks around the same time. Changing blades is a bit cumbersome because you have to tilt the 125-pound robot on its side. I really wish there was an easier access without risking antenna damage when you turn it over on its side. Pro tip, you want to buy a power drill and an impact driver with the actual hex bits. It saves a ton of time versus using the tools that Yarbo had sent you with the kit. What surprised me most about how well it handles hills and slopes. What annoyed me at first was the motor noise. It sounds like a Barbie Jeep. I've grown used to it, and it sounds like future models will improve this. What still isn't perfect? I would say the vision and the obstacle avoidance, especially vertical detection. On to winter performance. This is where Yarbo really separates itself. The unit weighs about 125 pounds, but like any snowblower, starting early in the snowfall matters, especially if you don't have to be outside doing it. Don't let the snow pile up if you can avoid it. Snow type does matter. Wet or slushy snow is difficult for any auger-based blower. This is where the plow blade attachment really shines. My podcast host, Brandon, has one, and it performs much better in these conditions. Traction's been solid. There's a dedicated set of studded snow tracks, and performance varies with snow and ice conditions, but for its size, I feel like it does a good job. Cold weather reliability has been excellent. I live in Minnesota, and I've never had a cold-related failure. Battery warms on the dock, the chute moves to prevent freezing, and the cameras are heated. I still grab a manual shovel and blower for small steps and narrow walkways. As for failures, Yarbo has replaced my snowblower module twice under warranty, once due to impact damage near the auger, and once due to an electrical motor failure. Shear pins are consumable, so make sure you stock up. We're moving on to the fall. The leaf blower module is honestly a great companion tool. The logic behind how it works is excellent, and it makes fall cleanup far easier. Battery life is the biggest limitation. I would say it's around 25 minutes per charge. This isn't something that you want to wait until the leaves pile up either, as you'll see that the vision can be blocked and it thinks that it's running into an obstacle. It's loud like any leaf blower, and night operation isn't great. The vision system sometimes sees ghost obstacles in low light situations. This doesn't replace manual cleanup. Yarbo moves leaves where you want them, but you'll still have to collect and dispose of them. In my situation, I blow all the leaves down by the road, and then I actually hire a company to come with a giant vacuum and vacuum them all up. So it works out pretty good. That said, it'd save me a ton of time. Next fall, I'll start cleanup earlier instead of waiting for piles to form. One of the downsides is taking off the lawnmower module and then putting on the leaf blower module, hence why I waited, but this next season I won't. Living with Yarbo long term, you'll need space to store the modules, and I recommend buying the Yarbo covers from them directly. Wireless charging has been flawless. Any charging issues I had were due to the broken antennas, not the dock. I would say maintenance takes more time than a traditional piece of equipment, but I spend less total time doing yard work overall. Reliability gets an 8 out of 10. My biggest frustration is parts fulfillment speed. When something breaks, you're down until that part arrives. So in the wintertime, you have snow buildup, or in the summertime, your lawn becomes overgrown. Day-to-day ownership is honestly super enjoyable. People stop and watch it work, ask me lots of questions. I love being inside while it works, especially when I'm traveling. The best set it and forget it moment for me is the snow forecast automation. I can wake up after a snowfall and the driveway was already cleared. Yarbo is ideal for large properties. I have about 2.5 acres and a long driveway. This feels like the sweet spot. Smaller yards may find it as overkill, which is why the mini series makes sense. You should be comfortable learning, maintaining, and fixing things. I'd recommend Yarbo to tech-savvy homeowners with busy lives who don't want to hire yard services. If you don't like maintenance or troubleshooting, I would skip it for now. So on to my biggest wins and my biggest frustrations. The biggest wins for me, I would say, are the true all-weather versatility, huge time savings, the cool factor, and then also just really great customer service and support. My biggest frustrations would just have to be parts fulfillment time, the vertical obstacle detection, and then just overall software bugs as they do updates. In my opinion, a second version becomes a no brainer with better vision, LiDAR, and then continued software refinement. Would I buy this again? Absolutely. With all the improvements since I bought mine, new buyers are getting a more refined machine and company. It replaced my mower and my snowblower. Leaf cleanup still needs help. Year 2 will focus on the Pro Mower module, the weed trimmer, software improvements, and then also testing the new M series. I'll drop some affiliate links and Yarbo's website down in the description if you want specs. Feel free to drop questions and I'll answer them from real world experience. And let me know if you want a deeper dive into each one of the module. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.